Hello and welcome to Points of Interest. I'm one of your hosts, Jake, along with my co-host, James, over here.
Hey, guys.
If you're new to the show, this is Inverted Reality's gaming news podcast. Each week, we gather news and stories from around the internet, bring them to you in one nice, easy-to-consume package at your own pace. We break the video... we break the podcast out in chunks, videos specifically.
Chunks of videos.
Small segments of chunks of videos. Goes Tuesday to Thursday, and then the whole show posts as one big video, an MP3, on youtube.com/invertedreality and podcast services around the globe.
That's right.
True. Follow us on Twitter at IRGames. Stay up to date with what we're doing. We'll tweet out links and let you know when things go live and all kinds of other goodies.
Indeed.
Articles we didn't get a chance to talk about on the show. And speaking about talk about on the show, James, what you been playing lately?
Boy, I've been playing stuff. Let me tell you.
You look like you're struggling over there. No, I saw you tap your screen like 20 times.
No, I saw something out of the corner of my eye that threw me off. We're good. Super Lucky's Tale is what I've been playing. It's been really cool. I mean, we grabbed the Xbox Games Pass.
Yes.
We always knew we were going to. I finished on the Wolfenstein DLC. I was kind of disappointed with it. But I moved on. Got Uncharted Lost Legacy knocked out. That was really great. Super Lucky's Tale, I picked it up. Like, I wanted this when it came out, but I wasn't, like... it just nothing.
We saw it and we're like, that looks interesting, but not like, oh man, I cannot wait for Super Lucky's Tale.
It's only like $20, but so free on Xbox Game Pass, and it's definitely built for a younger audience. But it's cool. It's a 3D platform. It feels kind of like a Banjo-Kazooie game. There's not two of you, but it's just you go into this world and you have to do these levels, and each level's a different style. So some of them might be a 2D, some of them might be like running away from something, some might be like a full-on like 3D platforming section. So it's pretty cool. There's the side-scrolling levels have you going back and forth in depth without like zooming in. So it'll just be you're now a part of the background in it. Like you drop in this whole pop up and you're like 3 levels back, but the camera is still in the exact same place. The focus just adjusts a bit. It's really cool. It's really well done. So I like it. It should be, like I said, it's pretty easy. But it's fun.
This one.
Yeah, it's a good time. I'm through the first world, and it took me like 2 hours. So it's not a super long game. It's 5 worlds. So not a super huge commitment or anything like that. And the achievements are pretty easy. So, gamer score and altogether fun. So I started that. My son was very enthralled by it. Every time I would get to a loading screen, which is kind of too much, but that's, neither here nor there. He would be like, "Oh no, what happened?" So it was super cute.
The game is gone,
but I do like it. So that's what I've been. One of many. We played a lot of games.
We have played a ton of games.
We got
in the last month.
What about you? What was your main one this last week?
I have been playing Fable. So we talked about this a little bit last week. I actually beat the main part of Fable, all the bits of Fable that I've played before.
Yeah.
And so now with the Anniversary Collection, the expansions were included. I don't know how many there are.
Right.
How much? I know there's an extra story that I'm currently in.
Yeah, that you did not do before.
Yeah. So I'm kind of playing through that, but I beat the game. It was a lot easier to beat than I remember, but I'm just going to chalk that up to I'm a much better gamer than I used to be.
That's very
fair. Because I can see the moments where I would have gotten stuck trying to do what I was doing. And now it's just like all of my like reasoning of how to beat a boss now is like, oh, well, it's got to be this then.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, okay, why isn't it working? Because it's supposed to be this now.
Right.
Duh.
Yeah, it's I started playing this a little bit, and it's interesting. It's got a lot of loading screens, which is just the nature of the beast.
It's old.
A game from 2004.
It's an open world. There's a lot of small sections of world, and to go to each world, you go through a gate, and you got to load up each section.
Exactly. So it's interesting. I'm gonna get back and play it. It just took so long to get through like the tutorial and get out of being a kid and then a teenager and then these little things and everything's
so
slow
start.
and you can't really skip much and you don't want to because it's exposition. It's like, okay, now that I'm out there, I did one mission. It's cool. You can fart on people and you can like burp in their face.
There's all kinds of
taunts and
expressions.
Stuff like that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
And they change based on which path you go down.
Right.
So like you can like sneer or like swear at people if you're going down the dark path, or like down the light path you can like wave and flirt and like do this like handsome hero pose.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of it's kind of deep for an RPG in terms of what you can do, at least for what I would expect
for an RPG in 2004.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm excited to continue playing it. It's going to be one of those like in between games. Like, well, like, I don't feel like doing this or doing this. I'll pop in Fable for a couple hours and just go down. Because it's not like a 60-hour RPG. We're talking, you got through in what, 15, 20 hours?
It took me, my save right now is at like 19 and a half hours.
Okay.
And so that's me having done a good portion of the side quests as I went along.
Right.
Some side quests that I hadn't done before and getting some stuff and doing all that.
Cool. Well, that's not a huge commitment then.
No. It's pretty small.
But together we've been playing a lot, which is always fun.
Yeah, we have.
We've been playing Gears.
Because we got that Games Pass.
Yeah, we do.
So it was one of the things we knew when we got the Games Pass trials that we have.
Right.
We were like, well, we got to play Gears because why wouldn't you play Gears?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so good.
Oh,
This is the Gears Ultimate Edition,
right
that
so
we
it's
played.
Remastered Gears of War.
You have been saying that a lot. You say Gears of 1, Gears of 2, and Gears of 3.
Yeah. But so Gears of War 1 remastered for the Xbox One. It came out before Gears 4 launched.
Yeah.
But so it was really good. It looks great.
It looked really good. I'm scared
just-
for what Gears 2 is going to look
I'm
like
sure,
now.
because both 2 and 3 are on there, but they're on there as a 360 backwards compatible. So they're going to look like booty. Like we know that. But it's fun to play. The control schemes and stuff are improved, and
Yeah.
the story and stuff are improved.
The
a little bit
gunplay's
deeper.
fun. The story's fun. The
Should be
characters
fun.
are fun.
We may come back to Gears of War, like just for multiplayer stuff. I'm sad because there's no horde mode, because that didn't come about till 2, and then 3 and 4 had horde modes.
Yeah.
So
They didn't put it into 1.
yeah, which makes, I mean, it just wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
But remember, the story's over. After Gears 1.
Exactly.
It's definitely finite. We definitely knew there was an ending, and
Cha!
not open ended at all. But outside of that, we've also been playing.
We started Halo 5.
I mean, we played it a couple nights now. That's basically, we're almost done, I would assume.
Yeah, so we went through
With
Halo
the
4 in
speed
one
that the
night.
other Halo games have gone,
Yeah.
we should have already been done with this. What do you like about Halo 5 so far?
The gunplay is so much better in Halo 5. We talked about this in previous episodes where we've been playing Halo. The gunplay in the beginning Halos is bad.
Yep.
It's just bad. At the time when it came out, it was good. So before you hop on your nostalgia horse and come spearing me through the camp here, like it was good when it was the only thing that existed.
True.
But now we've gotten better Call of Duties. We have Destiny. We have so many other Battlefields. You name it, first-person shooters that are just play better.
Yeah.
And now Halo 5 is a modern first-person shooter set inside the Halo universe. The alien guns still suck, but the other guns are a lot better.
They suck because they're alien guns,
Yes.
I think. Like, for what they are, they're pretty
Covenant
good.
guns are terrible.
But you've got actual hit markers that are actually really well done.
And they differ.
You've got haptic feedback on your guns. You've got just better sense of it. You're way faster. It doesn't feel as heavy as some of the
Yeah.
other games. You're faster. You got boosts in the air. You've got a cool ground and pound move. There's some really awesome stuff in it. The story's actually like we're probably played like 4 or 5 hours in. I'm still like there's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
The other Halos, it was like, no, I got it. Like an hour in, you're like, okay, Flood bad, Covenant bad,
I gotta break the Halo.
kill all of them,
That's what I do.
break the ring. That was Halo 1 through 4. That boom. That's Halo.
It's every story ever.
Every single story around, oh no, someone's gonna turn on the Halo. Oh no, they're gonna turn on more Halos. Oh no.
We haven't heard
Oh no.
a single mention of a Halo in Halo 5.
Yeah, it's nice.
Like,
It
it's just
is
like,
lovely.
This
Not
is-
that I don't mind.
it's a
that
breath of fresh
storyline.
air, but it's just like after 4 times through of
Yep.
like, hey, we've won. We stopped a Halo. It's like, oh no, they've started another Halo. But like, oh, now we gotta go break that Halo. Look, it's the Flood. Like,
Yeah, it is nice. I'm glad we haven't seen the Flood. Covenant haven't played too big of a role yet. It's been mostly like Prometheans and stuff like that.
Forerunners.
Well, it's the
Yeah.
the people that fight for the Forerunners. Forerunners
Yes.
are technically all gone.
There's Promethean
As
Knights.
far-
Yeah, you know, if you played Halo,
If
you
you
know what
played
they
it, you know. But so it's interesting. I like it. I don't want to give away spoilers or anything like that. If you haven't played it, if you haven't played Halo 5 and you have it, go play it.
Please
if
do.
If you don't have it, grab Xbox Games Pass. It's on there as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to get through and we can start doing multiplayer in that as well.
Oh boy, yeah,
Because it has the
through-
Forge mode
Yep.
where you can make like the weird, like there's golf and there's like beer pong where you try and knock a giant ball.
We saw
into
one.
the
It was
cup, and it's really
Halo Wipeout last night.
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't necessarily want to do that, but that's cool.
non-traditional multiplayer stuff is what makes me excited to play Halo 5 multiplayer.
Yep.
Because those modes are really fun.
Yep.
Plus the actual regular multiplayer
Yeah,
modes
we
are
can
also
actually
fun.
like we were looking through stuff last night. I feel like we could actually spend time in this game after beating the campaign. The other Halos we don't really want to
Yeah.
because it's not. I wouldn't say it's dead, but that's more of like a local LAN party
Yeah.
kind of thing. Whereas
But even then, it's like it'd be more fun to convince the people because we have recently become part of a group that meets pretty monthly now
yeah,
of like getting together and playing Halo together, like locally on several TVs.
right,
But I have been trying to tell them all like, hey, you need to get Halo 5 because we're playing through Master Chief Collection and Reach.
yeah,
And so they're doing regular modes in Master Chief Collection and then those cool Forge modes in Reach.
yeah.
So it's like we can do all these things in 5.
and with better literally everything.
Yeah, way better.
So
everything.
there's not as because you can't do split screen in 5. I don't believe for multiplayer stuff. I could be wrong. We'd have to go back
We'd
and
have
look.
to check.
But either way, if you haven't played Halo 5, you are missing out. It is very good looking.
Yes.
is exactly what I want it to be when we left Halo.
It was one of those
4,
things when it pops in, like Nathan Fillion is one of the voice actors.
Yep.
And without hearing his voice, my wife looked at the screen and goes, "Is that Nathan Fillion?" Like, it looks that good.
The only problem is Sergeant Locke looks like Luke Cage,
Yeah.
but it is most decidedly not Luke Cage.
At the
And it was
At the
very
time when it came
disappointing
out,
for me.
Luke Cage did not exist. So he
Yeah.
looks like Luke Cage now.
I get it, but it's like if
he
you're
doesn't
gonna
look like
use-
his voice actor.
If you're going to use the model for Luke Cage, just give Luke Cage the part. If you're going to give the voice actor the part to make him look like like, why is this a difficult concept?
Luke Cage is
You did it for
voice-
Nathan
like,
Fillion.
actor.
Just-
Well, because the one guy's a voice actor, so you don't
I
recognize
know.
his face.
Just-
you recognize Nathan Fillion.
but we didn't recognize Luke Cage either, so why not put a face that didn't? It doesn't make sense.
Well, I think
to
that
me. Like, I
he
can't
landed
line it
as
up.
like generic black guy. Like that's probably what they went on. They're like, let's make him look like this, and then Luke Cage came out and they go, well, crap, that looks like Sergeant Locke. Maybe he'll change in Halo 6.
right, exactly.
He will look different, or they'll just hire the guy that plays Luke Cage to be Sergeant Locke, which I would prefer.
I would much prefer.
Not that the guy that does bad. No, yes, we
Now
say
that I have seen Luke Cage, like I want Luke Cage.
I want Luke Cage and everything.
That seems great. Now we haven't finished Halo 5. Maybe he dies or something. We don't know.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does. He seems pretty main
like
character.
a pivotal character.
That would be like Master Chief dying. That just doesn't happen
no.
more than once.
Spoiler alert if you haven't got to Halo 5 yet.
Come on,
Master Chief hasn't died.
Shocker.
Ding. All right. Moving on to games coming out. Getting it? All right. I just see you fiddling a lot over there, and I don't know whether that's like you changing apps or like PowerPoint not working
No,
with you.
it's all
So
good.
it's distracting to me. Anyways, coming out. Came out Tuesday, March 13th, depending on when you're watching this. Assassin's Creed Origins Curse of the Pharaohs DLC for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I didn't look into it, so I don't know what this entails.
So it's just
apologize.
it's the final DLC.
The
for
last.
it brings up the level cap to 55. So it
Whoa.
was 45
Crap.
after the first DLC. Now 55 after this one. I believe the standalone is 20. The first one standalone is 10 now. So it's the last one. You go to Thebes and you're taking on the Curse of the Pharaohs. It's got. I watched the trailer for it and I can't remember all of it, but there was like pharaoh like ghosts like being summoned like zombies in the city and stuff like that.
Oh.
Which you actually go into not like the afterlife, but there's like a spirit world.
The Duat?
I don't think it's the Duat. I think it's something a little bit different. So you get into some pretty crazy looking stuff. Like it's not just, oh, you go to another Egyptian city. It's like this is a
Oh.
little different.
Nice.
So it looks cool. It is the final main DLC they said for this. We had the Discovery Tour, which is cool, but there's no big stuff coming. This is it. So if you're waiting for like a Game of the Year, like everything encompassing edition, I'm sure it'll be coming the next couple months. But this is the last one. I'm excited about it, but I'm probably not going to pick it
I'm
up.
probably
I'll
not
be
gonna get it
honest.
either.
I have moved on. Maybe I'll get back into it
A
one
lot
day
of
if
other
the
games
DLC
to
comes
play
really
now.
cheap. But we've just been pounding through games right now.
Yeah, we have.
Mhm.
And there's games coming out that we want to play, like Devil May Cry HD Collection. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, we were. So because I played when they did Devil May Cry, like they did the redone version with white hair and everyone like freaked out
Yeah.
back on the PS3, and they remastered it for PS4 and Xbox One. But so this is the HD collection of the original stuff.
Yes.
So be cool hack and slash. You know, I've always kind of liked it.
Devil May Cry is one of those hack and slashes that people play, and then they play other games like, oh, this is like Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
That is it's like a tentpole hack and slash.
Yep, that's where a lot of hack and slash comes from. So
Yes.
it's cool like that.
Next up, Kerbal Space Program Making History expansion for the PC. So I've watched a couple Kerbal Space.
Herbal Space Program playthroughs.
You smell toast? I've watched a couple of those Let's Plays. It looks kind of interesting. I mean, we don't have a PC to play on, so
Yeah, I mean they have Kerbal Space Program on for PS4, like the original edition,
yeah.
but it's kind of buggy and just doesn't.
It
really
seems like a
translate
mouse
well.
and keyboard game.
There is a lot of things to do in the game. There's a lot of interface things, and I just
Yeah.
don't see how you could do that with a controller. I could be wrong, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So
Welcome to Inverted Reality. We could be wrong, but we're not.
well, we're not.
That's not how it goes. Bayonetta is a JRPG. Friday, March 16th, Burnout Paradise Remastered for the PS4 and Xbox One. That is out. So we got the news of, hey, it's coming, and hey, it's here.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick turnaround. We knew like maybe a month ago. I don't even think it was that long
Yeah,
ago.
it was
I
like
think
2 weeks ago.
It was like 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to pick this one up right away, but it's not because I don't want the game. It's because I have too many games.
Yeah,
right
also because Far Cry is coming out later this month.
Yeah,
and if I'm
Far
going
Cry
to pick
comes
between
out.
the two of them, I'm picking up Far Cry.
Well, I was going to say, we got Sea of Thieves next week. So March 20th, then March 27th is Far Cry 5. And I know which ones are coming first. But I will eventually get Burnout Paradise Remastered.
Yes.
Not my favorite Burnout game, but still had really good. Had all the cool takedown stuff. triple takedowns and it's incredible the physics they were doing in that game.
So if you're looking for a racing game, grab it.
Yeah, and also if you want to blow cars up, is in the same game.
Grab it.
Grab it.
Speaking of grab it, Kirby Star Allies for the Switch coming out on Friday.
I mean, we knew that Kirby Star Allies was coming. We'd seen it at their E3 stuff. We knew that it was going to be sometime in 2018, but they dropped this at the Direct last week and said, "Hey, there's a demo now, so if you want to go check it out before buying it, it's here." And then the game drops on the 16th. I'm like, I wanted that game. Like that looks pretty cool. So it's Kirby, side scrolling. You can play with up to 4 people. It should be pretty cool.
I feel like Nintendo's really good at saying like, "Hey, we're gonna put out this game sometime," and then it's like, "Here it is."
Outside of like their tent poles, like Pokemon and Metroid and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but for the most part, yeah.
I mean, no, I say that to mean not with the exception of like Mario and Zelda, where they're like, these are coming out on this date. We know that like 6 months out. Where Kirby Star Allies, it was like, hey, it's coming next week.
Yeah,
like you knew you were gonna get it at some point.
They do,
and you kind of forgot about it.
Yeah,
and then it was like, hey, it's coming next week. It's like, oh, hey,
yeah, they do it more often than you would think.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome, and I kind of like it.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure eventually it will drive me nuts. But Splatoon 2 Starter Edition for the Switch, also out on Friday. So Splatoon 2, if you haven't picked it up yet,
yeah, go check it out.
Ding,
be cool.
I was interested in this. I almost bought it when I was kind of in a lull there, but
I mean, I've played it. We played the open beta, one of the open tests that they did.
Yeah, weekends or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool.
Splatfest, that's what it was.
Yeah, Splatfest. It was cool. I just don't. I think it's one of those you just have to play a bunch and get used to it before you can really make a verdict on it. And it's just like, I don't know if I really want to commit that much.
Yeah, it was commit $60 to get used to it.
Yeah, and that's so. I think the starter edition works a little bit differently. So go check it out if you haven't already.
Yep. And last up, because I couldn't see this and just pass it up, is Vicious Attack Llama Apocalypse VALA for the Xbox One.
Yeah, I've never heard of this until you brought it up.
Yeah, I hadn't either. I saw it on the list, and it was described as like you drive mechs around to save the world from the Laminati.
Laminati, yeah. I was like, that's pretty crazy.
It's like a roguelike twin stick shooter. Is how they described it.
It's interesting. You don't normally equate roguelike and twin stick shooter. But
yeah, so
they with llamas.
Yeah, the Xbox website said it could be one of the more fun action like twin stick shooter games.
I'm down to check it out.
So
it's not on Xbox Game Pass though, so I probably won't.
Probably won't. Yeah, not saying we'd invest our money in it, but saying we'd play it. So
that's right.
If y'all want to figure that out and let us know, we'll gladly take your money. Next up from Polygon.
That's it for the releases for this week, if you guys are curious.
Yes, that was the last release of interest and importance that we found. But from Polygon, and this begins our kind of covering of the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff.
There was quite a bit of stuff, and you're welcome, because I combed through the Nintendo website, which is a mess if you're curious.
Oh, it's hot garbage.
But Polygon's website is not, and it's the most important announcement is Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch is coming this year. So they told us at the Direct, if you didn't see that and you're a Nintendo fan, you missed out.
Yeah, you did.
So the Switch version of Super Smash Bros. Will be released this year and apparently includes the Squid Kids from Splatoon. Otherwise, Nintendo was light on details. In the news release, the company referred to the title as Nintendo Switch Super Smash Bros. And noted that recognizable faces like Mario, Link, and the Inklings from Splatoon series appear in the teaser, which is posted above in the link below.
Yep.
The teaser was really cool.
It was cool. It started off as a...
it looked like a Splatoon teaser at first.
She was just like shooting Splatoon. They had just come off of announcing some DLC for Splatoon 2 with some new costumes and things like that. And then they just went straight into this. You're thinking, okay, cool, more Splatoon 2 stuff. Okay, I didn't think we had enough. And then she just transitions into like a black room and turns around.
Dark.
Yeah. And then you could see like the logo like coming... the reflection in her eye like zooms in,
and then you saw like a silhouette of Mario like standing in the wind, and then it went to Link, and I was like,
and it was Breath of the Wild.
Cool.
It was Breath of the Wild Link, too, not just any Link, which is important. And then it zooms out to the big fiery logo, and then title screen, and then 2018. So very cool way to do it. No one knew it was coming. I think we all knew that Smash was going to be this year. It's not a huge surprise. It's been a full year on the Switch we hadn't heard it all about, so we knew it was going to be coming soon. And the big question was like to announce stuff super early, so we knew it was going to be coming, but it's nice to have confirmation.
Yeah, I think the big question that everybody had was, are we going to get a new Smash, or are we going to get a remastered version of Smash from the Wii U? The Wii U?
Yeah, Wii U.
So
I would assume that it's going to be a new one.
Everything looks like it's going to be new. Yeah. So they're calling it the Switch Smash, not Smash Wii U Deluxe, like they did with
Remastered
Mario Kart.
Deluxe Edition
Yeah,
with Super
Kart
DLC.
8.
So that'll be cool. Just look for that. We're really excited. I like Smash. Never owned one to
Haven't
play it.
either.
It's the same exact thing with like Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart and Super Mario Brothers and all that kind of Nintendo stuff. I haven't owned that stuff before.
If
So
only we had some kind of virtual console so we could play the old one.
gosh, I wonder if anyone
Gee.
could ever figure that out.
Maybe when they figure that out, they can also get rid of stupid friend codes.
That's right.
Next stuff that came out in the Direct. So this is going to be an ongoing list of things that came out in the Nintendo Direct, things that were announced. So Smash was first up, which we already have talked about. Mario Tennis Aces, June
That's right.
22nd.
So we saw a little bit about this in the first main Direct of the year. But we didn't see much more. But we did get a release date, June 22nd. I am personally excited for this. Mario Tennis is always really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Never played it, but
I mean, it's
It
like
looks
tennis, but fun, just in a nutshell. It's not super like simulator based, but it's more Mario. Like if it's a
Yeah.
Mario game, I'm going to put money into it. That's just how it is.
true. Mario is always a win.
Mhm.
And speaking of always win, WarioWare Gold coming to 3DS August 3rd.
Yep.
So,
It's supposed to be the biggest collection of WarioWare mini games yet,
yeah,
which I would hope so. You should only add to stuff as you make it, but
it's true.
whatever.
Detective Pikachu for 3DS on March 23rd.
Yeah, this came out for Japanese audiences under a slightly different name that I don't know. 2 years ago, and we didn't really hear anything about it. And then there was rumors in January we'd be seeing it in March, and we got confirmation in the direct. So March 23rd, 4th,
Yeah.
3DS. You're a human and you have a Pokemon sidekick as a detective, and that's
Specifically Pikachu.
specifically. So I have no idea what to expect in that game, but I don't want it.
Yes.
Kirby Star Allies for Switch, we talked about. Demos available now. Launches March 16th. It's kind of a surprise that it comes that quick, but it's a very
Yeah.
welcome surprise.
Talk about Dark Souls, which we knew was coming to the Switch. The Dark Souls 1 remaster that's coming to
Mhm.
Switch, Xbox One, and PC, or
PS4.
PS4,
Mhm.
the other P. I'm not gonna get it on. I'm not gonna get Dark Souls on the Switch. I'm gonna
Right.
get it on my PlayStation. But they also announced there's gonna be a Dark Souls amiibo.
Yeah.
So it's the dude doing the praise the sun
Mhm.
emote.
yeah.
And so I'm
It
like,
should be
I
interesting.
don't have any amiibos, and I haven't really been interested in them, but I might get that one.
Yeah. There's a few I've had my eye on, but that one sounds pretty cool.
Yep.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, July 13th. Got a release date for that. It's Toad. Toad game.
It's Captain Toad. Yeah.
But it's going to include a few Super Mario Odyssey levels, which is kind of cool.
New Donk
crossover.
City in another one I forgot.
Yeah, I don't remember the other one, but
I watched the
that'll be
video.
cool. That'll be one that we'll pick up, I'm sure.
Undertale, which doesn't seem like a huge surprise. It looks like it'd be at home on the Switch.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it does.
The end of the trailer said coming eventually.
Yeah.
That's all it said.
They did say later on it was 2018 was what they're targeting,
Yeah.
which makes sense. It came to consoles recently. It was originally released back in 2015. It's not a graphically intense game, so it's very much almost looks like a text-based game.
Yeah.
So it's different. It's very different for an RPG. I have no interest in it, but it just
Yeah.
doesn't look
I
interesting.
need to look into it more because I've heard so many people be like, I love Undertale, and I've just never looked into it. So I might check it out.
I gotcha.
Up next is the Insane Trilogy, Crash Bandicoot.
This one surprised me. We'd heard a rumor about Insane Trilogy coming to Xbox later in the year, which makes sense, making money off of it. But this going to the Switch first was kind of a shock to me.
This kind of seems like just Sony thumbing its nose at Xbox.
Oh, it definitely is.
like, hey, look what we did.
It definitely is. This is the first time Crash Bandicoot's on Nintendo. Honestly, it's the first time they're not
It's
just on Sony.
not
So,
PlayStation.
So it's cool. It'll be neat. July 10th is what they're saying for that. So
Yep.
look out for it.
Yep. And on May 18th, we got Little Nightmares. I think we
Yeah.
had heard about this before. Little Nightmares coming to consoles and such.
I'll say it's on
So
PS4
it's on,
and
yeah,
Xbox,
say it's on the current.
but coming to
gen.
Switch is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So May 18th for that one.
Yep. And last up, South Park: The Fractured But Whole on April 24th.
Yeah.
So this is, if you were curious and didn't go to news sites today like I did, pretty much every news site was like, every other article was like, hey, this is coming to Switch. And I got it from the Nintendo page, and I just, as I'm sitting there gathering news from the Nintendo page, I saw separate articles for like each of the games. I'm like, I'm not sure each one of these bears a full article in mind. Like, I understand like get clicks on your website, but I didn't find one website other than Nintendo that did a full like, here's what was announced in the direct.
Yep. And it's just how it goes sometimes. Crappy reporting.
Yeah, you all.
You
Uh-oh,
should fix that.
this is awkward.
Pause.
Why you do this?
That was weird.
That was weird. It's not supposed to do that. Sorry, everybody. Still recording.
Yeah.
We're trying a new recording setup once again.
Right.
I got this cool little recorder that we can just run HDMI out of the camera and capture straight to the computer. And the way it works is we're not recording like backup on the camera anymore.
Yeah.
So
this was the backup. Now it's the primary. So
yeah, because it looks fine. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So other than that particular glitch,
moving on.
All right. From Kotaku. Last Friday night,
No.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds received a patch dedicated to anti-cheat measures. Many players are reporting that this patch has resulted in their inability to launch the PUBG client.
Womp, womp, womp.
Others are saying that the game has taken a massive performance hit. So
You could say this game's taking a dump.
yeah, we made the joke earlier that you can't cheat in PUBG if you can't play.
Yeah.
Oh, man. As of this morning, it still seems that PUBG Corporation are trying to figure out what has gone wrong. In a forum post titled, "Regarding our latest anti-cheat update," a community coordinator named PUBG Hawkins is asking community players to dump and submit their misinfo32 files in order to help the company understand that the nature of the problem. This misinfo32 file is an inventory list of hardware and software properties on your computer. So it just... PUBG Corp doesn't know why this is happening. They just know that it's happening and they don't know how to fix it.
Yeah. I'm reading. I've got the forum post here. It just makes me laugh.
Yep. Lead community manager on Reddit noted that internal tests have pointed to certain types of programs, such as antivirus softwares or productivity software, as possible culprits in performance issues in the game. Just turn off your antivirus when you get online.
Yeah. Make sure you close your Excel spreadsheets. Like, come on now. How many times did that legitimate? Oh man, somebody was working on their spreadsheets and trying to play PUBG, and it crashed. It's clearly Excel's fault.
You know, Excel is a ram hog. PUBG Corporation announced in a tweet that they are rolling back the patch that has caused so much grief for players. Man, dude, this is getting ridiculous.
It's funny. There's a sentence in the forum post. It says, "We released a patch yesterday without going through any maintenance to add some new anti-cheat features." Like, okay, that seemed like a good idea, doesn't it?
This is back to like the...
It's like, did you even test this?
This makes me think of the Destiny 2 thing that came out there with the laser tag weekend.
Oh,
when that came out, they're like,
I think
sorry,
way OP.
we're gonna come in and we're gonna properly playtest this. Be like, why didn't you playtest it before you sent it out?
Yeah.
Like, this seems simple. This is a patch. Give it to your office. Hey, everybody, take 30. Let's go play a match. And they hop in and they're like, I can't launch the game. Like, that seems like a problem. It's gonna be really hard to play PUBG when you can't play PUBG.
Because they're asking people to submit their system specs. I'm like, do you guys have one test machine with all the same stuff? And it didn't. How did you test this?
They apparently have a supercomputer ready to run
You
PUBG
are
at all
making
times.
millions of dollars off this game. How many tests? Just have one of every video card and one of every process. That's like 30 machines. How is this difficult? It just blows my mind that you just can't even figure this out.
I'm sure you could get people to volunteer to come in and play PUBG for you.
Sucks. Send us your entire list of everything that's on your system. This is fine. Just copy. It's fine.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it's going to be a nightmare at all for somebody to have to sort through that crap.
It's a nightmare.
Like, oh, well, this person couldn't launch the client, and here's what their system is. But this person couldn't launch the client, here's what their system is. You know what's in common with these two systems? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
That explains why I can't fix the problem.
Yeah, before they started getting some backlash, on their post, they said, "We will not be removing our recent patch in order to keep blocking cheats effectively." So,
yeah,
they obviously changed their tone on it later. But man, it's just...
We're just going to block all players effectively.
Patch games. Oh my gosh. It's like you didn't even test it.
We have gotten past the grace
annoying.
period for PUBG at this point. It's still janky.
Yep.
And from what we hear, people play,
On
they
it.
say it's getting better, but it's still a high level of jank.
Yeah.
And for a game you pay for, and a game that is in the top 3 most concurrent players on Steam, there's constantly people playing this game. You're making money from it. Pay people to fix it.
Yeah.
You do not have to do it yourself.
I don't understand.
There are devs all over the world looking for jobs. They will fix it.
It's insane. So it's just I can't believe it keeps happening. So Xbox performance still reportedly sucks.
Oh, big surprise.
Big surprise. I have no idea if I don't think this impacted. I think this is just a PC patch.
Yeah.
So, that's
you
good.
can't cheat on Xbox.
It's true.
Fact.
Anyway.
You can quote us on that. We're inverted reality and we're never wrong.
Hashtag Bayonetta.
I want a shirt someday that says Bayonetta is best JRPG. Just to see what kind of arguments we can start.
Bayonetta is a piss poor JRPG. That's what it would be. That's what the shirt has to say.
Bayonetta sucks as a JRPG. It was like, just and then it'll turn around the back and says, "We're never wrong." Be like, "Is it a good JRPG?" Well, no. All right.
I love it.
Point proven. Speaking of point proven, from Eurogamer.
Sweet.
Oh my gosh, Black Ops 4 got its release date.
I have the logo, but I want to build up to it.
Yeah,
because I was pretty excited for this logo. Let me tell you,
it's odd.
I can't even.
So interestingly, the Treyarch developed Black Ops 4 comes out on the 12th of October. So, which is ahead of Call of Duty's normal November release slot and ahead of Rockstar's Redemption 2, which comes out on the 26th of October. There's no detail in the game so far. Save do it's out on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, and a community event is planned for the 17th of May. Man, it throws me off seeing the number first and then the month. It looks like the PC version will be available on Blizzard's Battle.net, so that's a new thing.
Yeah.
And the logo, though, is confirmed, and yes, it really does look like that.
Now, it's funny because before I show it, they had a leak like the day before, and it was a picture of James Harden. He's an NBA player, if you don't know, and he was walking into the arena for a game, and he had on a hat with this logo, and everyone was like, "That's the Call of Duty logo," and it just went viral, right? And then like a day later is when they announced it, and people couldn't believe that this is actually the logo.
Fours.
It's just four.
There was
things.
an article that I admittedly did not read that was about this logo.
Yeah.
And like talking to historians about why it is like this.
Mhm.
And obviously probably because a 1 and a V would look really stupid.
I mean, it
but,
would. I would give you that.
Like,
Well,
I understand, but it just since they were going for this Roman numeral look and then went to
Yeah.
4.
I'm just like, man, it's just not how you do it. Ugh. I don't know. So we don't know when it's supposed to be set.
What happens when it's 5? Do they split it again? 5
That'd be
equal
ridiculous.
pieces?
It'd have to be.
They
a
just
V,
keep going until
right?
like there was a Reddit post that was like Call of Duty Black Ops 30 was just a barcode.
Well, I saw people like writing out like different games if they did that. So Final Fantasy 15 was like 15 nights. Yeah,
That's really funny. I thought it was we saw the release date for this last week or whatever.
right.
I don't think we talked about it on the show, but it was interesting to see it coming out in October.
Yeah,
And so we're seeing like the dethroning of the giant to avoid in the fall, because it was always like, don't put out your game in or around November.
right.
Like within the first week or two of November,
Mhm.
Call of Duty is going to launch and no one will buy your game.
Yep.
That happened to a few games that launched like the day after Call of Duty because
Mhm.
they're idiots.
Yeah,
And-
Battlefield learned from it. They changed their release dates so they stopped lining up with them. So
Yeah.
they're a couple weeks apart.
But now we're seeing game like Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of those things that if they went and they wanted to launch on the same day as Call of Duty, they would win.
yeah,
100%.
And it's not that it's an overlap of audiences or anything like that. It's just it's a game that has that built-in following that is much wider than the people that play Call of Duty regularly. So we saw, we don't have it on the show today, but Days Gone got pushed back to 2019. We didn't get any official word. We just know that Sony changed it on their website from 2018 to 2019, and people reached out for comment, and they said, "Yep, we changed that." And then that's all we know. And so everything it indicates that it's not a game delay. It's the fact that they wanted to get out of that fall slot, because you've got God of War, you've got Detroit, you've got Spider-Man that's probably still first half of the year, right? Then you've got all your third parties like Call of Duty, you got Battlefield, you got Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a huge thing. Where does Days Gone fit into that? Like, it doesn't. You can't stick it in October because you got Call of Duty. You got Battlefield 5, which is supposed to be sometime in October as well. Battlefield V, or Battlefield, I'm a stupid namer who just gave up on names. Battlefield V, freaking stupid. Probably World War II. Blah. Anyways, you've got all
not a lot
these
of passion in
games.
that rant.
No. You've got all these games in the fall. It's like, where do you put it? So Days Gone's like, well, we'll just go back to 2019. They're going to pull Horizon Zero Dawn, right? Game's finished. Game's hitting all its marks. Let's just stick it in February. There's nothing in February. And boom, now you've got this huge system seller later on. So that's just, but that's how the scale of game has changed. You think about when the first Black Ops released versus when the fourth one releases. And granted, it's a time difference of, oh, that's disgusting to think about.
2010.
Yeah. So the time difference of a long time. But that's just the nature of the business now. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing. It's nice to see.
I wonder if next year Call of Duty jumps back into November, or they're like, we're going to take the October slot now. We're
It
going to be
just-
beginning of October instead of beginning of November now.
I think it just depends on what games come out and how their
Yeah.
sales numbers for this do. I think the Black Ops is kind of like the fan favorite. Everyone points to like, well, the last good game was Black Ops 3, right? Because you had Advanced Warfare, which no one really liked, and you had Infinite Warfare, which we liked, but it just didn't have staying power.
No.
So it's like, okay, well, Black Ops is back in Treyarch's hand. That's kind of like the best developer for Call of Duty. Are they going to be able to do it well? Like, what's the time period? Is it going to be back in the Vietnam era? Is it going to be like near future? Is it going to be now?
I
Like,
heard it was modern day.
what are we? So yeah, we're assuming it's modern day, but we don't. No one really knows for
Yeah.
sure. So Black Ops has always been that like, kind of, sort of in this time frame. So what do we see from that? So it'll be interesting to see going forward how it affects it. I think that they will, if the game does well, they might keep their release date, and the only reason they moved it is because they knew they wouldn't make as much money. So,
Yeah.
because if
there's
you're
something-
going to the store and you see Red Dead Redemption 2, the first, the sequel that has been coming for like 8 years, or you see the latest Call of Duty, which is there every year, which one are you going to pick? You're probably going to pick Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
So
And if it does bad this year, I wonder if we see the changing of Call of Duty from being an annualized franchise.
nope,
'Cause that would be great.
that's going to stay for a while. I almost guarantee you. You have different developers doing it, and people are buying them anyways.
Yeah.
It does it like World War II, for example, is the best Call of Duty they've had in years. So it's like, okay, well, we just recycled it and put it in World War II. We played it. It was Call of Duty, and they made a killing on it. So there's no reason for them until people stop buying it. I don't think there's any reason for them to stop it.
Yeah.
Especially because they could just be like, oh, we're not repeating every year. It's different developers now. So next year will be.
Yeah, it's just
Not
a cop
sledgehammer,
out way
but
to
the other
say
one.
that we're doing it differently.
It's very true.
Anyways,
I agree.
from GameSpot, we're going to talk about the Battle Royale game that works.
Yeah.
Epic Games has announced that its Battle Royale game, Fortnite, will be... Remember when Fortnite wasn't a Battle Royale game? Remember when Fortnite was a building game where you fight zombies?
Yeah.
Fortnite will be updated to support cross-play, cross-progression, and cross-purchase between Xbox One, PC, Mac, and iOS versions of the game. Furthermore, support for these features will be added to the Android versions in the next few months.
Yeah. And we also saw another article, which isn't here, but there's references to it, that they announced the same thing, but instead of saying Xbox, they said PS4. So what we can confirm from that is that the PS4 can play with everything, and the Xbox can play with everything. But the Xbox can't play with the PS4.
More fittingly, the PS4 won't play with the Xbox.
Yeah, that's
That's what it is. It's Sony looks at Xbox and says,
No.
nope, not doing it. So it's just to add insult to injury of going to Switch for Crash first. So, quote, contrary to what may have been implied, Microsoft has long been a leading voice in supporting cross-platform play, connecting players across PC, mobile, and all consoles. End quote reads a post on the Epic Games website. Quote, we've been working together with them over the last several months to make it possible, and we'll bring this functionality to Fortnite players on Xbox right along with other platforms, end quote. So this is cool. Like we saw
cool.
last week that they were doing a mobile version, and they can do a mobile version when other companies can't make one version work.
It's insane. It's really cool. The cross-platform, cross-play, cross-progression is really cool. Like, for example, if we ever finish building a PC, which we're right on the horizon, then we could take what we've been doing on PS4 and pop it on over to our PC and keep playing. So you got your battle pass unlocks, you got your different gear and stuff like that. You got all your stats that come over. That's really cool. That's a really nice thing to have. Or you can play from your PS4 with PC players, which you can right now. You just have to do a couple extra steps.
Yep.
So it is cool to see that. The game is according to Epic, Fortnite, just with mobile, it's the same 100-player game from Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, and Mac. Same gameplay, same map, same content, same weekly updates. How they're able to do that, I have no idea. I really don't understand it, but that's because Epic Games literally made their own engine like 100 years ago. That's just what it is. Epic Games is Unreal Engine, so it's a lot easier for them to do it if they created it.
Yeah. Which doesn't excuse the people for not fixing their game.
Yeah.
Signups for Fortnite's mobile version will open on March 12th, so they are open now, homie. And there will be an invite-only test on iOS and Android, quote, in the next few months.
Yeah, Android is not doing invites yet. iOS is coming first. Android comes later. So that's kind of cool.
Yep. Those that are selected to participate will receive an invite by email shortly after signing up. More invites will be sent out over the coming months, so if you don't get in right away, there will be more opportunities later. If you do get in, you'll also get codes to share with friends. So it's cool to like, hey, you got in, and be like, oh, my friends didn't. Well, bring him. Let's go.
Just trying to imagine what it'd be like to play. Just imagine if you get in a lobby on your iPhone with a PC player, like you lose.
Yeah,
It's just you lose.
that's the thing. Like, I feel like you should be able to turn off, kind of like in Rocket League, where you can turn off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to play with PC people because I don't want to lose today.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to turn off. Like, I just want to play with phone people because I want them to deal with their cell phone latencies.
Which I'm sure by default it is, but
Yeah.
it is a really cool thing. Someone's like, "Hey, you want to play Fortnite?" It's like, "Oh, I'm not at my home, but I'll just whip out my phone," and it's good enough. So that's cool. Of course, Microsoft is not refusing to throw shade at Sony. Added a new link here. They had somebody tweeted at Microsoft and Epic Games, and they're like, "Hey, do you guys think you could turn on crossplay between Xbox One and PS4? I think it'd be really cool to be able to play with my friends on both."
Yep.
And Microsoft Phil Spencer replied. He was like, "Me too." And then Epic Games replied, "It's like us three." I'm like, man, I know that it's Sony, and there's two sides to the story, right? Because you've got Sony is like, we're the leading console. We gain nothing by doing this because right now you have to decide, do I want to play with my friends on Xbox or play with my friends on PlayStation?
Mm-hmm.
For us, our friends are on PlayStation, so that's where a lot of our multiplats go. Whereas with some people might not be the case. Now, if you have an option in the games you want to play with your friends no matter what console they're on, why would you buy a PS4 when you can just buy an Xbox and then do that stuff?
Yeah.
That's that perspective. That's the same reason Microsoft did that with Xbox 360 up a ton back in the day. So that makes it kind of tough. But I saw someone else who was like, well, the only reason Microsoft didn't do cross-platform before is because they had all their own servers and they were having people pay for Xbox Live and Sony wasn't. Sony's servers couldn't handle that. I'm like, well, I mean, that's technically could be true, I suppose. So that's one option as to why Microsoft did it before.
Pretty weak reason.
I don't think it is. I think it's the same exact reason Sony's not doing it now.
I feel like it's just Sony being like, hey, remember that time you didn't let us do that?
Oh, yeah. They're being petty.
Remember that time that
Very petty.
we're more than double your consoles and we're in the hundreds of millions? Yeah. How's it feel?
I don't know. Like, I would like it to happen. I
would
don't
too.
know if I think enabling it on a few games here and there is not going to sway the tide of the console wars. I think PlayStation is one. You know, they put out an article today of the different exclusive to look forward to, and for Microsoft, you've got Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, and State of Decay 2, which are all going to be available on Xbox Games Pass day one. I think it's a great idea for me because I don't have to pay for it.
Ding.
I don't think it's a great idea for Microsoft. Whereas with Sony, you've got Detroit Beyond Human, you've got God of War, you've got Spider-Man, you've got Days Gone, you've got Death Stranding. Those are just
Last
the top,
of Us 2.
Yeah, those are just the top 6 coming out in the next 2 years. And there's more out there that we haven't
The
mentioned.
fact that there's a top 6.
Yeah.
Like, there's a 3 in a week 3 at best. Sea of Thieves is fun, but we don't know what kind of staying power it has.
Mm-hmm.
Crackdown, we don't know if it will ever exist. And what was the third one?
State of Decay 2.
Exactly. The fact that I had to ask you and I heard it less than a minute ago. Like, State of Decay
Very true.
looks like hot garbage. Maybe it's fun, but it's not exactly God of War, is it?
Yeah, and
Like-
it's all this to say, I don't think that opening Fortnite and Rocket League, let's say, those are the two big ones, would cause people to not get a PlayStation over an Xbox.
No.
So will it shift the tide a little bit? Maybe, but
Yeah.
you've already won.
Here's the deal.
Like, Microsoft's not catching up this gen. Like, it's not a knock. It's just you can't make that time up with this big of an install base already.
Microsoft, I mean, is winning in the department of the most powerful console. They got that.
That's
There's
true.
nothing to play on it,
There's
but
nothing
they
to
got
play on
that.
it. It's like it's great. It's like, oh man, all these games do native 4K. I'm like,
All what games?
yeah, I don't get
All
it.
the cross-platform games that already
I mean,
own
I'm not a
another
huge
console?
proponent of like the PS4 Pro either,
No.
but I am getting one.
Yeah, you already ordered one.
I pre-ordered the God of War Special Edition one we saw. It looks amazing. I'm really excited for it. My launch PS4 is showing its age. It kicks the fans into high gear like watching Netflix. So like it's like about time to like I thought about it's like, oh, I could take it apart and I could replace the stuff you put on the CPU to make thermal paste. I could replace the thermal paste. I'm like, if I'm gonna do all that, like just no. Like I
It's
don't
not
want to do
that expensive to replace a console.
It's not fun. Like it's so I'm
I mean, it's
probably
expensive,
I'm
but-
probably going to do it anyways because it's going to turn into a Blu-ray player for another room in the house. But
Yeah.
just found the opportunity. I finally found, like, I've been waiting for a special edition PS4 that looked awesome, and the God of War one looks amazing. The only one I might have held out for would be like a special edition Spider-Man one, but God of War looked really good. So
If the special edition Spider-Man
knows?
one comes out, I'll buy it. That way we'll have them both.
yeah, that way we'll have we can experience them.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah. The thing I wish would happen
Mhm.
here with this cross-platform stuff
Yeah.
is that Sony would just quit lying about it. Because every time it comes out, like Minecraft, oh, we want to keep the kids safe.
Yeah, we want to
Rocket
protect
League, like,
the
oh,
online
it's not possible. Just come out and be like, we don't want to.
Yeah.
We're Sony. We're winning right now. We have more than like 80 million consoles in the wild, while Microsoft has like 40. No, we don't want to because we don't have to. Microsoft didn't in the 360 area. We're not doing it in the PS4 era. Next time, maybe we'll have, we're even now. So next time we can do it then. But I want Shuhei Yoshida or Sean Layden to walk out and be like, nah,
That'd be nice.
we're good.
I
Just like to get on stage with Phil Spencer and be like, it's nothing personal, dude. Like, next console, let's talk. But we had to do this.
I like it.
Just so you know.
Just right at E3 2018.
Yeah.
I like it. That's perfect.
But
They would never do that, but man, it would be funny.
no.
I would retweet that video.
Oh, yeah. We have one more story.
Yeah, we do.
I thought we were done.
No, this is the last
I
minute
make
edition.
these notes.
I know, right?
All right. Next story from gamesindustry.biz. If you're never there, guys, check it out. That's the cool website, but it is usually a lot more long form articles.
Right.
So be warned before going there.
Yeah.
The Swedish independent studio Fat Shark launched the game for PC on March 8th and has already surpassed 500,000 sales. And by that game, I mean Warhammer Vermintide 2.
That's right.
So I realized I didn't put the name in the
you're good.
opening thing, but just 4 days.
Fat Shark.
4 days, they sold 500,000 copies. 500,000 copies in 4 days.
Yeah, it's interesting. We definitely
Do
pooped
that
on
now.
this game last week when we talked about it
We're
releasing.
never wrong.
We're never wrong. But Warhammer is not like a typical series that we see a lot from. We see them from time to time, but this is Vermintide reached the 500,000 sales mark 6 months after it launched in October 2015. The first game, Warhammer End Times Vermintide. I'm not really sure what the game is about, other than you're murdering a bunch of weird animal
Fighting
things.
giant rats.
It's very much a hack and slash, like first person, so not third person like you would normally see, like in a Devil May Cry kind of thing or Bayonetta. But it's very visceral first person. We've been watching one of our friends, Snowman, play it live.
Twitch.tv/Snowman Live.
Yes,
The Snowman Live.
Snowman Live. And but it's cool because they have built-in Twitch integration to where you can.
Oh, it's so cool.
You put in your Twitch account and you start streaming, right? And then you make sure you set that in the game. You host the game, and then every once in a while it'll pop up, and it'll just have like votes. So you can vote to go like with this boss or that boss, or you can vote to go with like to give somebody a potion or a bomb, and you just vote in the chat like hashtag A, B, C, D, E, whatever. It's really cool. It gives you some interaction with your players.
It's
with
really
your
cool, like
viewers
as a
and-
viewer, because I was watching Snowman play the other day, and so it was constantly like it's like every 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
This thing pops up. So it's not like every 5 or 10 minutes. It's like they're fighting a boss, and an option pops up and says, "Hey, do you want them to go on a treasure hunt and there's no boss, or do you want them to fight a boss that spits green fire?"
Right.
Like, I want them to fight a boss that spits green
while
fire.
they're already fighting a boss.
Yeah.
It does not wait for them to finish. She's like, okay, next step.
Yeah.
While you're fighting this guy.
It
here's
pops
this-
up and it's like, "Hey, they're fighting that guy that spits green fire. Do you want them to get a health potion, or do you want to release a horde on them?" I want to release a horde on them. Of course I want to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And every now and then it's like, "Oh yeah, okay, we'll give." Like you can have some rest.
Yeah, but it was fun.
But-
It was a good time. It was kind of exciting to see. The game is like visceral is the only way
It's really
that we can
cool.
figure out to describe it. It's just in your face, just hacking away and slashing even. It just looked really good. So
If you had to put
we're
those
gonna go-
words together.
yeah, we're going to go back and check out because they had Warhammer End Times Vermintide on Games with Gold last month.
Yeah.
So it's in my queue. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I need to actually go check that out. But no release date for console yet. It is currently, like we said, out on PC last week. They
And
said it
they're
would
doing
come
well.
out soon after on consoles. The first one was out
Yeah.
on them. So who knows how
Yeah.
long that's going
It
to
was
take.
interesting. Further in the article, they talked
Mm-hmm.
about kind of what's kind of contributing to the success of a game that bears the Warhammer name.
Right.
Because Warhammer is really popular. So Games Industry spoke to Wallen recently about making a Vermintide 2 and the importance of developer retaining control, even with a license as popular as Warhammer. This quote, "Controlling your release dates is so important. We self-funded our game and self-published it, which gave us the freedom over our release dates.
Mhm.
Like now, we feel the game is really fun to play, so we can release it. So they're not sitting there with a publisher going, hey, like, we paid a lot of money for this.
Yep.
Where's the game?
Right.
It's supposed to be out like now.
Mhm.
You get no more delays. They're like, no, like it's not ready yet. So the biggest issue with the licensed properties is that you have to fit in with a book release or a movie release or the start of a TV series, and you often end up releasing the game no matter if it's good or bad.
Mhm.
That's the key thing Games Workshop has learned over the years. Those games do well, really, if they are good games, and that takes time to do. They have learned that pushing stuff out too early is the best way to destroy a game. Just a couple of extra months Just a couple of months extra can be all it takes.
Yeah.
End quote. So just really like interesting. Like,
Yeah.
we own all this stuff. Why would we push it out when it's not ready? And I like the way he phrased, it's fun now. Not it works now. It's not broken now.
Right.
It's fun now.
Like it's
So
complete.
these are gamers making games, and they know when it's fun to play.
Yeah, exactly.
So, congratulations to Vermintide and Fat Shark.
I like it. It's exciting. We're gonna check it out.
That is the actual last story of the day.
Yeah. They have won me over with actually watching Snowman stream it. Won me over with it definitely seems like a game we would like. It also looks really hard, so
It does.
Just be prepared for that.
It was one of those things that looked like they were saying they weren't getting through one level. I don't know what getting through one level looks like.
Because it was a long amount of time they were in
playing
those levels.
different levels, but not ever getting through them. So I don't know if you just get through and you beat the level.
I think there were just like a few missions like
Right.
available at the start, and you would
Yeah.
do a mission. And
So
anyways,
it looks like
interesting.
you still level up each time you play. So
Yeah.
your character can get stronger and better.
and you add abilities, and you add
Because
different
there was some
modifiers
like
and stuff
spawn
like
of I think spawn of chaos or something like that popped up that they immediately ran from. There was no playing it. There was
Right.
no beating it. It was like that thing's gonna beat us. We need to go.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I would be
So,
willing to check it out and
We would check it
see
out.
what they're gonna do. But it'll
But
be on console.
Speaking of checking out, that's the end of the episode. Make sure you head over to Twitter at IR Games. Follow us there. We'll tweet about stuff we're doing. We're also doing second show over on Second Invite YouTube channel. Also on Twitter at Second Invite. We're doing a show called Boss Fight podcast on hard mode. It's a little bit shorter form, 15, 20 minutes, usually more to the 20-minute side of us just kind of diving deeper into one topic.
That's right.
Last week we discussed
Additions.
additions. I was like
Additions
Battle
to
Royale?
games.
No, it was
Close.
additions. So game additions. But if that interests you, go check it out. But until then, see you next time, guys.
You guys.
Bye.